Hey guys, I'm David and this is my Red Spirit R Type A.
Just for everyone out there, if you are not following our Instagram, please follow us on the Right Wrong. A while ago, we did post a story about David's Rx7. We did briefly touch on his story. He has had 2 engine rebuilds in the past 1 year. He never gave up on the car. And I think it's a really inspiring story, which is why we have him here today to share why he's had 2 engine rebuilds. Like, we all know rotaries are not reliable. We don't expect them to be this unreliable. So that's a long story, and we'll let David tell you the story.
Yeah, so suppose I had to rebuild twice. First initial time, it was just like most of the stuff was just out of my control. Suppose I couldn't really, I had more downs, than ups with this car. It's been a roller coaster. First rebuild, basically, I thought, like I was just doing some maintenance on the car, replacing radiator and just vacuum lines and solenoids. And I thought, you know what, I got just the snowball effect, you might as well start replacing this, start replacing that. And then next thing you know, led to a engine rebuild. So I bought, it's brand new motor, rotor, housings, the whole lot, the full works. Went bigger twin turbos as well while I was at it. And yeah, my tuner basically blew it on the dyno. The car, as soon as it came off, it barely held idle, and that's when he started covering his tracks by telling me, look, mate, we're out of time. You're gonna have to come back another day. And that day never came because he was just ignoring my phone calls and not responding to my text messages.
I don't think anybody that owns a piston engine will understand why we go through such extremes with an Rx7. Something about, I don't know, apex air in or boost in and apex use out the other side.
Yeah, it was completely out of my control. The tuner blowing up the motor, and basically it took me like 1.5 years, to build up the courage to actually rebuild it again, because it just affected me mentally and financially too. And plus I had work commitments. So I just couldn't devote any time towards a car. But it's up and running now. We rebuilt it again. All right, so but this time round, the first time round I actually went an extend port, but this time round I thought, you know what, I've gone through so much with the car and I wanted to be excited about it. I want to just ignite that flame again. So I went with a turbo bridge this time, bridge port.
Something different?
Bit different. I thought, if I'm going to own a rotary, I want it to sound like one. So
a lot of people don't actually understand that rotaries, even though it's a rotary, does not come factory with the brake noises. You want to explain that?
It's actually a really, these cars are usually, the idle's actually quite smooth.
Yeah.
From factory, they just hum, like you wouldn't even know it's really a rotary, but once you start going Bridgeport, that's when you really get the braps. I just needed it in my life.
So just for all the people that are not aware of what rotary ports are, there are a couple of ports. You get stock ports, extend ports, half bridge ports, J ports, and peripheral ports with rotaries. The bigger the port, it's basically the same as in a piston engine. You do have bigger cams and you get more of a lumpy idle, except with rotaries, you get a much louder brap. And yeah, David's car braps like crazy.
Yes. It's okay. I still think it's conservative. Being just a turbo bridge, so it's not a full bridge port. So but I built the car purely just to be a street car. Because I want to enjoy it on the street. If I'm going to build a car, I want to enjoy it. I want to actually drive it. Rather than tucking it away. So I wanted basically the combination of everything. Drivability, sound, and just response as well. That's why I kept the twin turbos. Yeah.
What really surprised me, to be honest, was because bridge ports idle at really high RPM, like 2000 RPM, and they sound obnoxious on the outside. When I was riding with you earlier, it was actually quite comfortable.
It is quite comfortable, yeah. Surprisingly, it is. It was kind of one of those I was stepping into it, and I thought, I was going into it blindfolded, but I had a friend of mine, that basically is running the same same port, you know, the turbo bridge.
Yep.
And I took his car for a bit of a drive, and it actually gave me a good feel of what I'm going into, like what I'm getting myself into, and I actually enjoyed it.
Nice.
So, and since then, like it's funny, yeah. Like I just couldn't. Every now and then, like I'll listen to like rotary videos, while I'm driving my work van, because I got a sound system in there with subs. So, I'd play Bridgeport videos, while I'm driving the van, just trying to reenact it, thinking, this could be me someday, yeah. And I guess we got it now. It was one of my motives, to actually get it done.
Yeah. That's pretty funny though, but visualizing the dream, right? Visualizing the dream.
Yeah. I had to make it happen, so yeah, we got there in the end. So yeah.
Since we're talking about 2 engine rebuilds, you want to pop the bonnet just so we can show everyone what's inside?
Yeah, sure.
I can open the bonnet properly this time. I don't know though, it's like just weird. When on camera, you get nervous. It's not popping. Got the lever. Oh, there we go. Yeah. With one go, hopefully.
Sure.
Yeah, there we go.
So as you can see, it's nothing too crazy. I tried to keep everything as factory looking as possible. Being a street-driven car, I know apart from the brapping and the being Bridgeport, tried to retain everything as OEM as possible. All the emission stuff, air pumps are still in there, yeah, basically. As I said, I built the car, to be a street-driven car. So I've even got AC in it still as well, yeah, I want to be able to enjoy it in summer as well with the AC on.
What airbox is this?
It's an Auto XE carbon box. Yeah, Auto XE. I'm also running a PWR U-type intercooler as well. PWR radiator, alloy radiator as well. But yeah, I've gone the bigger Bathurst SP2 twin turbos as well.
Oh yeah, I remember. You sent us a video in your startup, but then you had to stop it again and get your turbos rebuilt. Wait, what happened there? Can you please explain?
So, I got the car up and running again the second time after the rebuild, and I thought, yep, sweet, all the problems, all my problems are over. The car's up and running again, but then I bumped into having turbo issues because my turbos are basically like a custom turbo.
Yep.
With the Bathurst SP twin turbo compressor housings with the Garrett cores in them. The workshop that machined the actual turbos machined them a little bit too far in. So the coolant galleries on the actual turbo cores were like wafer thin. So pretty much as soon as it got heat into it, they just cracked. So coolant was leaking straight into the exhaust ports and straight out the exhaust. So it was just blowing clouds of white smoke. So I had to get mind you, these turbos, I only used them for 2,000 kilometers, and I had to get them rebuilt at my own expense as well. So yeah, that was the last, fingers crossed, that's the last hurdle that I've got to go over, but
I have my fingers crossed for you as well.
Yeah, knock on wood.
The bright red as well. Oh yeah, with the bright red, you were telling me that it was quite rare in the Spirit R?
Yeah, so obviously we know that there's 1,500 Spirit Rs produced.
Yep.
Across the type A, B and C. But there's only 53 red ones out of 1,500. So it is quite rare. And the reason why I chose to kind of keep it twin turbos is one of the reasons, being that it was a Spirit R Type A and it was a red one too. I didn't want to ruin the car too much. So pretty much everything I've done, I can pretty much revert back to stock if I really wanted to.
So what you're telling everyone is, if you swap from a set of twin turbos to a single turbo, you're ruining the car.
Nah, don't get me wrong. It's not like that, man. It's don't get me wrong. Yeah, I'd love a big single turbo, and and all the, you know, all the bells and whistles, you know, V mount and that kind of stuff. But I just couldn't do it to this car. I'd feel too bad.
To be honest, I'll probably feel the same way if I own this. So yeah, so we've talked about how you went through 2 engines. So we've seen the engine bay. Wanna show us the interior and the inside of the car?
Yeah, sure. So that's pretty much the interior. It's pretty much all factory standard, you know, as you get on a Spirit R, you know, with the red stitching, the Recaro seats, carbon Kevlar Recaro seats. The gauges that I've got there, I've got 4 Defi BF gauges, but I'll be getting rid of those pretty soon because I really don't need them anymore because I'm running a Haltech at the moment, Haltech Elite.
Yep.
So the little Haltech Elite can gauge is pretty much more than enough for me. It basically tells me everything I need to know. So those gauges will eventually go. But otherwise, yeah. On the Spirit R Type A's, you get the rear buckets as well, so no seats.
I heard those were a very, very expensive piece of kit to buy if anybody wanted to convert their...
It is. I mean, anything Spirit R, to be honest, is very expensive.
How much are the seats?
The seats, apparently they're worth eight grand for a pair, 8 to 10 grand. But
second hand or brand new?
Second hand, depending on condition, of course.
So you want to show us what do you normally carry around as a rotary owner?
So moving to the boot here.
I have never seen that before. Where do you get that?
Actually came with the car when I bought the car. So when it arrived from Japan, it was already in there, to be honest. And apparently it's a rare option. And yep.
So of course every rotary owner carries around some premix.
Yep.
That's just rotary life. And why do you have a jerry can?
Just in case I get stranded, you know, like I mean, the car's on dedicated E85 at the moment for the run-in tune, but eventually it'll be on a flex tune, so I'll be able to run 98 octane fuel as well. But yeah, just the jerry's there just in case. You know, I've been stranded already.
You want to start this thing up so that we can hear it?
Yeah, we'll fire it up and... Yep.